Good evening. Welcome to this evening on servant leadership. First of all, thank you all for being here. It's so great to see so many of you, friends all, mostly that I all know, and so it's so great to have you here. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do real quick, and I'm going to change the program a little bit because for the sake of time, we have some people that have to be leaving. One in particular, Dr. Kleinberg, who has a plane to catch. And so I'm going to make sure that he gets out of here on time to get to the airport so we don't have to get rushed and stressed and nervous and catch his plane. First of all, let me stop and say that how happy and again proud I am to have you here and to be here with you. First and foremost, let me say hello to Dr. Julia Ideson, our wonderful leader here at the Ideson Library, sitting up here up front, and the lady sitting next to her. I have to also say hello to you before I get in any trouble, because I always tend to forget at the end, so I do it in the beginning, my wonderful wife, Regina. So, welcome to all. To all the family that are here this evening, thank you all for being here and being, as always, very helpful and supportive. To my NHPO and Leadership Institute gang, welcome. Good to have you here also. And all the rest of you who I've known many, many years. Let me correct one little thing in the introduction. And that Carmen was right from the time that was printed, since that first thing was printed that she read from to now. I was on KPFT Pacifica 90.1 for 17 years. I recently switched in the last few months over to KCOH 1230 AM. And Paris Healy, who is the voice of KCOH, is here. And I just had to give my good friend Paris a shout out. So you can catch him in the mornings on KCOH, and you can catch me on Monday evening at 7 p.m. Let me recognize some of the essayists who are here, in case they may have to slip out a little bit too, but we're going to try to see if most of them can stay, because after I give a few brief remarks, and I'm going to cut mine short from the beginning, so I'll come back at the end and make a few more remarks. But for the sake of time, I want to move the agenda forward. I will say a few things, and Dr. Kleinberg will come up, and then we're going to have a little panel discussion. You can see these wonderful comfy chairs here, a little living room setting. Thanks to our good friend Alan. Thank you, Alan. And we're going to have a little dialogue with our essayists. Who is here at the moment and who is coming? In the room presently with us is Garden Farm. Thank you for being here. So let me give a quick little context, and then I have a surprise, which I haven't even told you about yet. I believe that we're put on the face of the earth for one reason and one reason only, and that is to serve our fellow human being. As a servant leader, to do that, I have to first do a selfish thing. The only time I get to be selfish as a servant leader. I have to take care of myself so I can be readily able to assist and help other people. Therefore, there are 5 things that I have to do every day. Proper nutrition, proper physical activity, attention to my mental health, spirituality, and laughter. Proper physical activity, proper nutrition, attention to my mental health, spirituality, and laughter, so that I can be readily available as a servant leader to help and serve other human beings, so that I can be selfless in my service to other human beings. I believe that. That's my motto and my credo that I've lived my life by. Like all of us, though, I was hard-headed. And I had a couple of strokes. It took me a year to learn, literally a year to learn how to walk and talk and feed myself, tie my tie, tie my shoelaces all over again. And ever since then, I've been very clear to the talks and lectures I gave to the American Heart and Stroke Association across this country about being proactive, about being that servant leader, taking care of yourself first, so that you can therefore be in service to other human beings. That's a very important piece of the servant leadership discussion this evening. So that's kind of a broad context. I'll come back up a little later and fill in kind of the pieces of the puzzle. But because I'm trying to move forward so I can get as many people in before they have to leave, I'll save the rest of my remarks till later. This book has taken on a life of its own. It is a collaborative effort. I have done the front part, I've done the back part, the middle part. Dr. Kleinberg was gracious enough to do the forward, and then I reached out to 25 of my friends and asked them all in their own way, in their own words, to write a chapter from their perspective on servant leadership. The majority of people who have agreed, who I've known and accountability and commitment as the hallmark of those relationships, all agreed and said yes. I've known each person in that list of people as contributors and essayists for at least 25, 30 years or more. And so it's a great relationship of people who we've worked with. The book, as I said, is taking on a life of its own because people who have picked it up see different things in it. It gleans different things, shouts out to them, and they pull different aspects of it out to apply to their lives. And this is what's important. They apply to their lives in their personal life, their professional life, and their public life. And yes, we all have all three. And the lessons that can be learned from the book and the stories told, because all of life is just stories along the journey, can be applied to all spheres of our lives. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about how that resonates in the internal part of our being, in our congruency and our alignment as human beings. Notice I will always use the word human beings. Never individuals or persons. I don't know individuals and persons. I didn't grow up talking and working and living with individuals and persons. I grew up working and serving and talking with human beings. There's something special about the essence of human beingness. And when you keep the human being at the level of human beingness, you cannot treat a human being the same way you would treat an individual or a person. It's almost impossible because we're wired that way. There's something intrinsic in our being that does not allow us to mistreat people if we always keep in front of us the essence of the human beingness.